Okay, here we have the new Bosch sanding plates that they have provided, so we'll see how this performs. Okay, I'm putting on the Bosch 60 grit sanding paper. Okay, as you will see, that is lined up pretty well. Let's see what happens. Okay, this is how it works. I want to do a bit of sanding on. Let's just switch it on. No, I haven't used it yet. Right, as you might be able to see, that pad has actually moved a bit already. So you can see there's some black edge showing there, and the holes are not lined up as they were. I'm going to put the camera down while I do a bit of sanding. Now all I've done is just a little bit of sanding on the corner of that frame, and now the sanding pad is not lined up. I don't know if you can see that. It's not lined up at all well with those holes. There's a black edge showing out the top there now. If I turn it over, you can see the bottom of the sanding sheet is hanging off the bottom there. But I'll sand a bit more and we'll see what happens. Now I've done a little bit more sanding, and if you can see that the base plate is showing a bit too much, if you ask me. With it showing, that can easily get damaged. So I'm just going to try and take that sanding sheet off and reposition it. I'm turning it as well. Let's put that back on there. Right. Okay, let's press that down nicely. Right, that's lined up pretty well now. Yep, that's not bad. That's completely covering the base plate. Let's do a bit more sanding. Okay, well at the moment I've been sanding for a few minutes now, and this now seems to be staying on okay. But it's only been a few minutes, so we'll see how we go. Okay, I haven't fully sanded that frame yet, but this sanding sheet has moved a little bit. It's not much, but it's just showing the edges. Just showing the edges there of that sanding plate. So what I want to do now, that's quite loose there. So I'm going to take this off and just reposition it. But some of the backing has come off and stuck onto that plate there. So I'm going to try putting that back on in a different position. Right, so the base plate is completely covered. I'm giving that a good press down. There we go. I'm going to try and sand to let you know that I'm not actually pressing hard. Right. Actually, I can see, even by sanding, that's moved. So I'll just put that on, and that has moved. Let me reposition that again. just a little bit, but I'm going to stay with it, see how it goes. Just press that on a bit more. Right. I've sanded this bit already, I'll do it again. See, I don't like the fact that the base plate is showing. It's not much, but that will get worse. I'm going to do a bit of sanding and not touch it. I'm going to sand a bit more, but I'm going to put the camera down. Okay, it's only been a few minutes, and I just don't like using it with that plate showing so much. The holes are out of alignment. I'm going to take that off again, and I can feel that it hasn't got the grip that it had before. It's not holding on that sanding sheet very well at all. Pressing that on, but we shall see. I'm just going to turn it on again, see if it moves. If I can find the switch. It's moved a little bit, but let's see how that goes. Now I'll just try sanding a bit more, and that's how it is now. So too much of the plate is showing. So to me, that isn't holding it very well, and I would throw that away. But I'm going to try the sanding sheet on my other sander. Okay, right, I've got my other sander again. It's a Bosch one. It's a Bosch PDA 120. So what I'm going to do is take the sanding sheet off my brand new Multitool and put it on my old PDA. But what I'm going to do first is just reposition that sanding sheet again. Let's just reposition that. Press it down, switch it on, and see if it moves. It has moved a little bit, but it's loose there. I can feel it's all loose there, and it's loose under that side, and it's loose at the top as well. So I'll take that off and put it on my old sander, which you will notice has only got holes. The Multitool has got sort of like slots. So I'm going to put that on there. And that base plate on my old sanding, by the way, as you've noticed, is not new. I've had that since last year. Let's just switch that on. That has not moved at all. Still a bit loose there though, I have to say, so there's not a lot of grip on that bit. But I'm going to try sanding with it. Okay, right, this sanding sheet on my old sander has not moved one little bit. I've been doing just a few minutes sanding on that window frame, which is in a bit of a state. So what I'm going to do, because it wasn't long, I'm going to start on that window, just sanding, see how long I'll get on with it until this starts to fail. Okay, all I want to do now with my old sander is just to take this sheet off, turn it around a bit so that it's not getting too much wear on one corner. It has not moved, by the way. This did not move at all. This has got really good, even though it's quite loose there, it actually holds the sanding sheets in place very well. Okay, what I want to do now, I want to sand this. As you can see, I've just finished a little bit of sanding, and that has not moved at all, even though that's a little bit loose there, but the rest of it has got a good fix. But I want to change the sanding, piece of sandpaper, because it's pretty much as it really does, so I want to change it. Now, I know my old sander works very well, so what I'm going to do is for a brand new, another Bosch one on. It's a little cold, so I'll just burn that around a bit. I'm going to put it back on the brand new Multitool. Put that back on there. Stick that on. Line it up. Okay. And I'm going to sand away until I get absolutely fed up with it, because it keeps coming off. Okay. Right, and by the way, I do not put excess pressure on these sanders. I'm a firm believer of letting the tool do the job. I'm going to do some more sanding. Okay, I've done a bit more sanding, and I don't know if you can see that. That's how it's ended up. I've taken that piece of sandpaper off twice and relocated it, because it kept moving, and that's how it is at the moment. The base plate's showing. I'm just going to try something out. I'm going to take it off. See, there's the backing paper left on there as well. Bear in mind, this is a brand new base plate. Put this back on there. Let's just switch it on. See, it's moved. See that backing plate showing through there. Okay, doesn't feel like it's got a lot of grip on that now, but let's just put this paper on my old one, which is pretty battered now. Put that on there. Switch it on. That has not moved at all. So, my conclusion is there is not enough Velcro on this new tool to keep the sanding sheets on. Now, for this bit of kit, which is £170, compared to this, which was probably no more than about 50 quid, for sanding, there's no comparison. I will go with this every time. Don't get me wrong, this is a good tool for chopping out bits of wood, and especially for chopping out frames, which I've got to do here. It's an excellent tool for that, but not worth the money if that's all I'm going to be doing with it. I bought this because I could do sanding, but it's obviously not up to the job for sanding, and in my mind it's just not fit for the purpose.